Welcome back to the Inspired Investors channel, where we hope to inspire freedom by taking control of our finances. I'm Caleb, and this is our third video in the playlist to help you buy your first property. And today we're talking about getting your financing together and getting to a pre-approval. And if you stick around to the end, I'll share 5 tips to ensure that you get the best rates possible. So let's start with the things that you need to get pre-approved. Typically, lenders want to answer 2 main questions. Question number 1 is, can I trust this person to pay me? This is where your credit comes in. Again, your credit is simply a reputation that lenders can look at and easily evaluate and compare to other people. If your score is jacked up and you never pay anybody back for anything, nobody is gonna lend you money. They're not giving you anything. To be approved without jumping through any extra hoops, you wanna have a score of 620 or higher. Or if you're going the FHA route, you can have a 580. Now, if you're not there yet, you may still be able to find something that'll work, but in most situations, I would say watch the Credit Matters playlist and take the time to fix your credit. So the second question lenders want to answer is, how much can you afford? To figure this out, they're going to need proof of income. And basically, they're looking to see if you have consistent income and how much it is. And the general rule regarding income and qualification for a home is that your debt to income ratio, aka your DTI, shouldn't exceed 40%. And this includes your new mortgage. So this means that if you divide your total monthly debt payments, including your new mortgage payments, by your annual income, you should get a number that is 0.4 or less. Also, part of answering this question is having reserves. Most lenders want to see anywhere between 2 to 6 months of reserves depending on your loan type. And this means that you need to be able to show that you have at least 2 to 6 months worth of mortgage payments in an account that you can easily access. If you need help with your saving habits, be sure to check out my video on how I save tons of money without budgeting. But in terms of saving up, for me, I was blessed to not have any kids or much responsibility at all while in college, and I was able to work quite a few jobs and internships to make that work out for me. And if you're interested, I can do a much longer video going through the actual numbers on all that, but I'm not trying to just put that out there for no reason. So let me know if you're interested. I'm happy to do it, but I just want to make sure people are interested before I go pulling out all the finances in my life. Anyway, if you feel like you have most of that stuff together, you're gonna need to find a loan officer. And the best way to find a loan officer is to get a referral from people who had a good experience in the past. And the best way to find a good anything is through word of mouth, in my opinion. And if you don't believe me, let's try this. How about you go and you tell all your friends about this amazing channel you found called Inspired Investors with this super cool and handsome guy. His name's Caleb. And he wants nothing more than to open your mind and inspire you to pursue financial freedom and give you all the information you need to get there. I don't know, it's just an example. We'll see if it works, try it out. Anyway, let's get into the tips that I mentioned about getting the best terms. Tip number 1 is gonna be knowing the differences between owner-occupied and conventional loans. So if you're looking to invest in a property and you're not gonna live in it, unfortunately you won't qualify for an owner-occupied loan. Owner-occupied just means that you plan to live in it. And the differences between these two can be pretty significant. With owner-occupied loans, you can get as low as 3.5% or even 0% down in some cases, because there's a lot of programs to help people become homeowners. On the conventional side, you're typically gonna have to put down 20 to 25%, but I have seen things go as low as 10%. In addition, when you're doing an owner-occupied loan, you can actually bring in gifts to help with your down payment or closing costs. And this just means that someone can gift you the money, or money can just randomly appear in your account. And that's not the case when you're going the conventional route. If you go the conventional route, you'll typically need to have your funds sourced in season. This means that you'll need to be able to easily point out where the money came from, and it needs to be in your account for a certain amount of time. And this is something to help with money laundering, which was a problem. I guess it's always a problem. Also, when it comes to interest rates, owner-occupied is typically gonna be better than conventional. My home being owner-occupied, my interest rate's like 2.25%, which is ridiculous. And right now I'm looking for a home through the conventional route, and it's looking like my interest rate will be at least 4%. So the second tip I want to give you is that having good credit is foundational to your financial journey, which is why one of our first playlists was the Credit Matters playlist. Over the course of a 30-year mortgage, having a higher credit score can save you 2 to 3 times as much in interest than having a low credit score. For the best rates, you're going to want to have a 740, and the worst rates are going to come if you're below a 640. That being said though, don't let the potential of having a lower rate stop you from getting started. After you have the basics down and you have a safe exit plan out of any deal, the most important thing is to get out there and try. And as long as you can make a cash flow, you can always refinance later when your credit score is better and lower that interest rate. Tip number 4 is to know that a 30-year fixed rate is elite, the way I see it, because you can lock in a payment at the lowest monthly cost possible, which means that you can maximize your cash flow and your predictability because it's a fixed rate in a way that you can't with other products like ARMs, balloons, and even 15-year fixed rates. That was a lot, so I may make a longer video comparing different loan products if people are interested, so let me know in the comments. So our biggest and most important tip is going to be tip number 5, which is building a relationship with your lender. This will allow you to get the absolute best they can offer in regard to terms and programs, and they may even be willing to do some more creative forms of financing with you after you've proven yourself as a solid partner. And creative financing is like a whole different world, but if you can find a creative strategy or two that you're really comfortable with, you'll find that money doesn't have to be the limiting factor for you buying property. Instead, it'll be that you and your team just can't manage all the deals and all the real estate coming in. So if you do want to hear more about some creative financing strategies, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.